All right, everyone. I'm about to go to New Orleans. So this story, by the way, it's not Nowlands, it's not New Orleans, although technically that would be more of the francophone the pronunciation. It's New Orleans. Just call it New Orleans. Just stop being fancy and shit like that. But there's a big mess right there right now. There is a scandal, link in the description, archived of course, with regards to vehicle barriers, which probably should have been in place and would have stopped the attack that happened, but were not put in place. And apparently the supervisor for the police was not even aware that these barriers existed. I shit you not. I'm going to read some of this article verbatim. This comes from Investigate TV. Sidewalk barriers set up after a New Orleans terror attack were already in city, but not used on New Year's. Placement and condition of security barriers on Bourbon Street has been discussed for years. They've had like council problems there, and so they could never agree like what they're going to do security-wise. You've got one of the most populated tourist destinations in the Western world, on par with the Champs-Élysées, on par with Times Square, on par with downtown tourist Tokyo and places like that. And apparently the person in charge of the security didn't even know that the barriers actually existed. Sidewalks on Bourbon Street are now protected by portable 700-pound steel archer barriers that the city already had in its possession. New Orleans Police Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick said she was unaware of these barriers prior to the early morning January 1st attack. I didn't know about them, but we have them, and so we have been able to pull them out, the superintendent said. It would have been probably better if you had put them out before the attack actually happened. I'm just saying, when you've got, I mean, this would be akin to downtown Amsterdam or something like that. There are barriers everywhere there. There are these steel poles that they have. It's mainly walkable in the downtown. And if somebody tries to run over a crowd of people, they will fail. Because unless they have like a big rig truck that's barreling at 100 miles per hour, it ain't going to do anything. Investigate TV found news coverage indicating the city has used the movable barriers for major events such as Mardi Gras as far back as 2017. But they were not deployed in the quarter ahead of the New Year's Eve or as part of the 2025 Sugar Bowl security measures. They can now be seen on the same sidewalk where during the early morning attack and terrorists drove around the patrol car blocking Bourbon Street in place of the regular bollard barricades that are now in the process of being replaced. This is considerably confusing. You're telling me that the superintendent wasn't aware that they even possessed these barriers. Why was she not made aware of the existence of them? Why were they not deployed, especially on New Year's Eve? It's a major city. Yeah, I mean, it's not as big as New York City or something, or Los Angeles or something like that. But you know, there's always the possibility of some scumfuck running people over. Why were they not deployed? You've got bollards there, but apparently they were completely ineffective. And on the edge of the street, apparently, you were able to drive around the patrol car that was there. This makes absolutely no sense. This is extreme incompetence, in my opinion. Again, I'll be down there in, a couple of days, basically. This is incompetence. Sheer incompetence. Somebody needs to get fired over this. Somebody didn't tell the superintendent that you had better barriers that you could set up so you could prevent such an eventuality just in case. This is, again, one of the top tourist locations in the fucking world. Have you been on Bourbon Street? I have. I mean, it's nothing but a non-stop party. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people. You've got jazz going on. You've got street artists. You've got people milling around. You've certainly got a lot of alcoholism and drug use, by the way. More than in jail, by the way. You've got all sorts of crazy shit going on. I mean, you'll see random parades in New Orleans. Doesn't have to be Mardi Gras. If you haven't been down there, it is definitely a party city. And it's not just Bourbon Street. The entire downtown every fucking night is a goddamn party. I saw like 3 different parades while I was down there. and also people protesting, mainly over the Israel-Palestine issue, happens literally every night. It also happens in the afternoon. Sometimes it happens in the morning. It's basically like the ultimate party destination other than maybe, again, Amsterdam. I can't think of any other place where I've seen so much crazy shit. You've got street vendors. You got the dudes that'll try to give you a free hat and then haggle you for what was presented as a free hat. By the way, don't accept hats from strangers if you're in New Orleans. Keep your wallet in front, by the way. Other than that, it's pretty fun. You've got gumbo splashing around and friggin' everyone's drinking, and you can definitely smell the weed from a mile away. Trust me on that one. I think it was legalized down there. Not 100% sure. Great city in some respects. But apparently the people that run the city, they need to be informed of things. There needs to be sort of a transfer of information from people that know what's going on to the higher-ups, because apparently that broke down completely. I don't think that Kirkpatrick necessarily was even responsible for it. She says she wasn't even aware that the barriers existed, but they've been using them since 2017. Nobody thought to tell the superintendent, hey, it's New Year's. There could be a terrorist attack. It's always possible. Maybe we should put these mobile barriers up. Nobody thought to fucking tell her? I almost feel sorry for her. She's probably going to be the one to get shit canned, by the way. They'll probably throw the book at her, literally and figuratively speaking, and kick her out or something like that. New Orleans does not appear to be the most organized of cities. I'm just saying, as somebody from New England, having been there, the level of legal organization there is maybe subpar, which is really, really incredible, actually. You'd think, big city, there's this high potential terrorist target because there's 10,000 fucking people walking on the street. You'd think that there would be better barriers up. Instead, it's inferior to what you would get in in the small town districts outside of Amsterdam. Been there too. Lived there for years. It's actually incredible when you think about it. When I go to New Orleans, I'm going to be able to see these Archer barriers myself. And I'm sure that there'll be cops swarming around the whole area. And it'll be quite interesting. But Bourbon Street is fun. Let's just take it from me. I've been there before. It is a fun place to be. It's definitely the party zone. You're going to see random groups of people dancing around. You're going to see chicks whipping their tits out, by the way. You're going to see a lot of people that are publicly intoxicated. This is New Orleans that we're talking about. I've got to go and leave some flowers for Marie Laveau, by the way. Forgot to do it the last time around. But nobody made the superintendent of the police aware that the barriers even existed after having used them for the better part of a decade? Yeah, that's sheer, and somebody is incompetent. I don't know who it is, but somebody failed to let her know about this. That's about all. Peace out.